Devin Haney responds to Floyd Mayweather Jr. for releasing the sparring tape of him and Gervonta Davis. And he says that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a hater and that he knew that he was trying to hold on, and he hates when young fighters are coming up. Man, blame your father for the absolute worst PR disaster of the last several years for a fighter. And while every word that he says about Floyd Mayweather Jr. may be true, still doesn't matter because it's your fault. And you shouldn't have been playing around and thinking somebody wasn't going to respond to what you were doing. Let's talk about that in this video. Devin Haney responds to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And it's interesting to say the least, as Floyd Mayweather Jr. apparently gave Ryan Garcia a copy of the infamous sparring tape between Devin Haney, and Gervonta Davis. And this is what Devin says, and then we'll address it. Floyd been hating a long time. This ain't just start. I held my tongue for years because I respect the greats of the sport. But dude is a bona fide hater. Don't want to see nobody win if he's not a part of it. I know he sent Ryan the sparring. I know he gave Ryan those pimp comments to say, miserable old man tried to stop the fight. Alhamdulillah, I'm happy he revealed himself to the world. This is from Devin Haney at March 1st, 12:39 p.m. my time, Central Standard Time. Okay, big problems here. Devin Haney dared them to release the tape. Said that he had $20,000 for somebody to release that tape. How is Floyd Mayweather Jr. the hater when he said Devin himself said he wanted the tape released? I don't get that. Now, he may have said, oh, no, I want every second of the tape released. Doesn't matter. This portion that was released is you asked it to be released. But let's just say that, hey, man, he didn't see it coming, that somebody would release it and release only the portion that sees him get beat around the ring by Gervonta Davis. We're blaming Floyd? Isn't Floyd Mayweather the guy that Bill Haney just said retired because Devin Haney beat him up so bad? 6-0 in rounds. It was like looking at a mirror of himself. So you insult somebody in public and you're surprised that they may release some information on you when you just claim that you are the reason that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is no longer fighting and he's got in his hands what you asked him to release. But it's not Floyd that releases it. It's the guy that's fighting you that releases it. And why does the guy that's fighting you release it? Because you called him a cokehead, maybe? Maybe you called the man a Coca-Cola user? Maybe you said this man you said some things about this man that he found very insulting. So he said right after that, hey man, boom, there you go. Some people may also say, hey man, he did it because his father says something that they believe to be racist, because he said NAPPY, you got your NAPPY hair, right? You know, and as somebody with, nappy hair, because I definitely got it all on my beard, everything. I can appreciate that, man. It's like, hey, man, it's an insult. So you say he released it to cover up for that. Okay, very well may have. However, maybe you're antagonizing people a good bit. Maybe sometimes people are like, look, man, you're talking about my son that bad. You're talking about my son having DRUG problems right here in my face. And you don't think I'm going to say anything to you? Something's going to not snap off in me where I may say something that normally I would be polite and wouldn't say, even if it's in the back of my head. I'm reaching and grabbing at straws to insult you. You got the man's mother out there after you say that about her son yelling at you like this, that, and the other thing. You guys are talking all kind of crazy about a lot of people. And then you dare Floyd Mayweather to release a tape like they would never do it. So they released a tape. And what's the big news? The big news is that Gervonta Davis was beating you up. The tape may be edited. Yeah, it's edited. It's 1.5 minutes of, 6, 9 rounds, however long they went. But is it falsified? Is that somebody that is not Devin Haney in there? It is. And it is clearly who? Jumping in between Devin Haney and who? Gervonta Davis. It is the guy that said it. Adrian Broner. Somebody else y'all called a liar for saying that. Look, man, there's a saying that Malcolm X said one time in different circumstances. In a different circumstance, he said, look, man, chickens come home to roost. Chickens come home to roost. If somebody is releasing sparring tapes to make Hector Garcia look bad, you're releasing sparring tapes to make Shakur Stevenson look bad. Why would you be surprised if somebody is not eventually going to turn around and release a sparring tape to make you look bad? And then the interesting thing is that people come to my channel because I ain't gonna lie, dog. I played that tape and I played that tape a lot. I talked about that tape a lot because I wanted to break down every second of that thing so that everybody could be like, okay, we're all seeing the same thing. But even then you get Devin Haney fans jumping on the channel acting like we don't see what we see. Like it's not on tape. Like that's not what's actually happening. That's what was actually happening. But you call Gervonta cap. Look, man, if you're an excellent fighter, dude, just rest on being an excellent fighter, man. Stop trying to overhype everything. Because eventually, man, people are going to start taking it personally. And they're going to respond in kind. I think what was it that people said, oh, man, Bill Haney calls Gervonta Davis. I think he called him a monkey in a cage. The SPOOK that sat by the door is what he said to Leonard Ellerbe. To Floyd Mayweather, Bill Haney says that he retired him. Devin Haney destroyed him. This is the Mayweather era. I mean, this ain't the Mayweather era anymore. This is the Haney era. This man had you in his gym. This man let you spar him as if he couldn't have found somebody else to spar. Gave you the opportunity to get that work. And what do? When you're at your highest level, you throw it back in his face? So he throws something in your face? And he's the hater? No, man, this is a buffoonery circus that's been going on a long time, man. From the time people have been calling everybody their mama a duck, dropping, man, stop it. Okay? This is what happens, man. When you send the chickens out, they're going to come back to roost because that's where the food is. They're coming back to you. Just stop. Stop calling everybody a duck. Stop daring people to put stuff out like they ain't going to call you bluff. They called your bluff. That's just what it is. You may like it. You don't like it. You can blame me. Man, blaming me ain't gonna do no good. Blaming Floyd ain't gonna do any good. Ryan Garcia saying, "Hey, man, I don't really think it was that big a deal." Ain't gonna do any good. You know why? Because the chicken's out. Because the chicken's out the coop. It's out. Everybody saw it. There's a billion copies of it, and Devon is never going to recover from that. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Okay? And all the king horses and all the king's men ain't going to be able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And that sparring would have remained a secret. If that round, that time that happened, that would have remained a secret if Devon and Bill had not made it commonplace to let that stuff out all the time. That's their fault. If you don't want the smoke, don't blow it in people's faces. If you don't want people to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And do not be surprised that if you do that to people, they're going to do it unto you. Because you must have wanted it, or you wouldn't have thrown it out there like that. Hey, man, and y'all need to tell Devon the truth. That's a bad look to see him get beat up by Gervonta Davis like that. That's a bad look. And yeah, there's all kind of justifications and reasons why you could say, look, man, he was a kid. He was only 6, he was 17, because I think he was 17. But he was 16, 17-year-old. He was a kid. Gervonta was 21. You know, it was just a sparring match. It didn't mean anything. But it does mean something when you say, you bring it up and say that you beat up Devon, you beat up Gervonta Davis, you dominated Gervonta Davis, you won $20,000 bet on Gervonta Davis. Why, if I didn't beat up and destroy Gervonta Davis in sparring, why would they pay the $20 million? And they answer the question. They answer the question you asked with the tape. You can't complain, man. You got to take it like a man and oops and don't do it again. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'm out. Deuces.